Hi everybody, happy Thursday and welcome back to my channel. I don't know if you guys remember, a few weeks ago we saw an article of Sibiya, who's the suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner, saying that the reason why he left his job is not because he wanted to do so willingly. He was told by Masemola'S, who's the National Police Commissioner, to just go home because of the whole things that are going on, the allegations that have been raised by the Lieutenant General Mchunu. And actually has went to court, and Masemola'S received the affidavit of the papers that have been filed in court. And he says that some of the things that have been said by the applicant, which is Sibiya, is that he was unlawfully dismissed and all of that. And Fani has responded through this article and has said that this person has been subordinate to my instructions and has said his side of the story. So in this video, I wanted us to look at that article, but most importantly, to look at the powers and the tasks that these parties have: the National Commissioner, the Deputy National Commissioner, the Minister of Police, and actually who has the power to disband the task team and all of that. I know that some of the YouTube channels have covered that before, but I think in this channel we haven't. And I wanted us to look at that topic and then discuss it in the comment section down below. And also I wanted us to conclude by talking about FIKILE MBALULA, and that he's trying to recruit regional leaders so that they can attend the national dialogue, because it seems like everybody is withdrawing and it's turning to be an NC dialogue instead of a national dialogue. Let us talk about it. So the article came out, as I've said, guys, and Masemola'S is saying that Sibiya was told to not disband the task team when the task team was formed. And Fani says that he then took leave, he had to go and leave after giving that instruction to Masemola'S. But it then happened that Masemola'S, even after receiving that instruction, still continued with disbanding the task team. And it is said that from the information that has been revealed by the General Mchunu, is that it's the minister that has made that instruction. That is why Sibiya acted on that instruction. The instruction from the minister, which is, the suspended minister, or the minister on leave, which is Senzo Mchunu. So Senzo Mchunu moved from his position as the minister, came and gave the deputy police commissioner a command to disband the task team, and then he disbanded the task team despite the instruction from the police commissioner, the national police commissioner, that he should not do so. But because he was on leave, they took advantage of that and then played around with power. So now, with understanding the facts and this whole problem of disbanding the task team, and why Masemola'S saying is that this person has been subordinate, that is because he's not been listening to me, being the person that gave him the instruction. I want us now to look at what is the law saying versus the practice. So legally, in terms of the Constitution, which is Section 207 and the South African Police Services Act of 1995, I think it's Act 68 of 1995, it sets the powers that each of these people have. Number one, it says that the deputy minister sets policy, gives strategy, direction, and exercises civilian oversight. Legally, they cannot give direct operational orders, for example, disbanding the task team. And then the National Police Commissioner has a sole operational command of SAPS and can instruct the deputies on all operational matters. The Deputy National Police Commissioner, on the other hand, acts under delegated authority from the National Police Commissioner, or not from the deputy. Now, the reality is that the minister has informal influence and often verbally instructs senior SAPS officers. The deputies, especially those politically aligned with the minister, may take instructions even without a written policy directive, knowing it's risky to refuse. The short-circuiting of command is often justified under the idea of acting in the public interest or policy compliance, but it's technically against the spirit of operational independence. If, for example, in this situation, if the National Commissioner said that do not disband the task team and then went on leave, the Deputy National Police Commissioner is legally bound to follow that standing or that instruction, unless the National Commissioner's powers were formally delegated elsewhere during leave, or the minister issued a lawful policy directive that indirectly requires disbandment. So there is no policy directive that we've heard of before, but I assume that since we are going to the commission, there's high possibilities that they might say that he did do something of that kind. Probably Mkhwanazi were not aware of that, or even Fani Masemola was not aware of that. But it's so far it's not clear from the ANC or from the on leave minister that there was something that is alluding to the policy directive that has changed, with which gave the authority to the National Deputy Commissioner. Because guys, it doesn't make sense that there is, for example, the CEO, there is your supervisor, and then there is you. Then your supervisor goes on leave and says nothing about the CEO giving you instructions. For example, let's just say you are in a legal firm and you respond to your supervisor. As long as your supervisor, when they go on leave, they didn't say that, please take instructions from the CEO, please handle all my cases. The CEO cannot just come and handle all the cases. Everything is left on you. Actually, you're supposed to adhere to the instructions that have been given by the supervisor. If the supervisor says, call the client, do 1, 2, 3, consult, get your fees, get your what, you need to comply with all the instructions. You can't just say, this one is on leave, I don't care, let me just go to the CEO. Because it is the duty of the CEO now to say that, why don't you go back and hear what the supervisor say? Oh, okay, supervisor's on leave. Okay, let us find out what has the supervisor put in place to, not disturb your work instead of taking over. So I definitely think that Sibiya was supposed to be suspended a long time ago. He was supposed to be given some time off a long time ago because of him disobeying. Because disobedience starts small like this and then it becomes big. It seems like now Fani Masemola was also in this whole thing with them, because he didn't become firm and say that, okay, you didn't listen to me, therefore you have to be suspended. Instead, they just moved forward as if nothing happened. But at the same time, you understand, because you have that thing that, okay, this is a minister, this is not just anybody, hence this person didn't do anything, hence this person has been afraid of firing the deputy minister, because it seems like definitely the deputy minister, the deputy national commissioner, has some relationship with Senzo Mchunu, who is the on leave minister. So those are some of the dynamics that are happening. Do I think he will win this case? I think this case instead will open a can of worms. I think more than anything, it will put Senzo Mchunu in a very hard position as we are heading to the commission, because now he has to prove, where did he get the powers to even disband the task team? He will have to prove a lot of things now. He's not just going to prove that the few things. Even to a certain degree, I think that this court case will have to at some point join or subpoena the on leave minister, because the minister has to tell us where he got the power. Because as what I read said, the minister, the deputy minister the deputy police commissioner can take instructions from the minister if there is a directive or the acting in public interest or policy compliance. So there was no policy, and they're not definitely acting in the public interest, because that task team that was disbanded was actually working in the public interest. So I don't know what you guys think about this power dynamics. Do you think it was a good idea for Shadrach to go to court around his dismissal? Because now it's raising other problems with regards to other things he has done, the wrong things that he has done, including disbanding the task team. But I think it's an interesting thing to see play out, because I just wonder what will be the excuse of the minister as to how he ended up giving that instruction despite the refusal from the National Police Commissioner. Otherwise, guys, let me hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Moving right along to FIKILE MBALULA. So with the FIKILE MBALULA, I will just read the article so that we can understand what he's saying. So the article says, FIKILE MBALULA summons provincial subordinates over collapsing national dialogue. ANC national spokesperson Mahlengi Bengu has dismissed, suggesting that Wednesday night's meeting convened by Secretary General FIKILE MBALULA was a result of panic to save the national dialogue from collapse. MBALULA has called the ANC and EC subcommittee heads, provincial chairpersons and secretaries to the meeting. While some within the ANC have characterized the meeting as a panic mode to save the collapsing national dialogue, Bengu Mutsiri says there could be nothing further from the truth. ANC denies panic mode talks. I'll dismiss any talk of panic with the contempt it deserves. The reality is that as the ANC, we are going to be participating in the national dialogue, and we are readying our structures to participate in the dialogue meaningfully throughout the tenure of the dialogue. There is the National Convention on the 15th, and the national dialogue will continue. We are making sure our inputs are made and that we are all positioned to make the constructive contribution to the discussion about the future of South Africa we want. MBALULA in the invite tells those invited that the ANC national officials on Monday agreed that the Wednesday meeting be convened as the ANC internal consultation process. The officials on Monday, 11 August 2025, agreed that the Secretary General will convene an ANC consultation on the national dialogue. We are requested to attend this meeting, which will be held today virtually, wrote MBALULA, stating that the meeting will go on for 2.5 hours, starting at 6 p.m. Critics said that the matter of the national dialogue was so serious that it demands attention of a special NEC meeting. The NEC has directed that we need to actively participate in the dialogue, support the work of the government, and encourage the involvement of civil society, students, young people, and faith-based organizations, amongst others, and do everything in our part to ensure that this dialogue is successful. Bengu Mutsiri dismissed AfriForum claims and that the process of the national dialogue had been hijacked by the ANC. The national dialogue is a citizen-driven process. That's all a lie. The reason why you are failing now, you have to even contact your structures to ensure that they attend, is because you've made this an ANC thing. Why not invite other people? Why focusing so much on the ANC structures? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to hide? If you want your people, your cadres to attend, you want that whole hall to be yellow. You've all made this about ANC. You said that it's not about the ANC, and as you have named it, it's a national dialogue, meaning it's something that should concern the nation. It's not supposed to be a cadre thing of the ANC. But that's what you guys have made it to be about. You've made it to be like a Nasrec of some kind, where ANC members just go there and they're just gonna be dining and shining and making it seem like it's a successful event because it will be favoring you. You won't have constructive conversations there. You'll be having conversations that are favoring the ANC. I don't know. I don't want to make this segment of the ANC too long. I think I've spoken about the national dialogue in my previous video, and I think we've been talking about the national dialogue before we even got here. People are rejecting the national dialogue. Parties are rejecting the national dialogue. It's only some GNU partners like the Patriotic Alliance, like the IFP, COPE. Most of the parties don't want the national dialogue because they've seen the truth about it, that it doesn't serve South Africans. It's not a national dialogue. It's an NC dialogue that is being supported by these many different external structures. I don't know. Please, guys, comment your thoughts and tell me if whether indeed for me, I think it's collapsing. It collapsed the day they announced it to when they told us that it's 700 million. People started not being interested, to now it being like this. Now they have to deploy structures. This is just going to be an ANC event. Just change it to be like ANC dialogue event. Anyone though is invited. Even if you don't belong to the ANC, you can come. Nonetheless, guys, please comment your thoughts. Tell me what you think. I will see you on my next upload. Bye.